What's up, YouTube? We're back. It's your boy, Mad Stacker. And we're here because we're keeping it Houston strong. Hey guys, welcome back. Okay, so I've got a little something to admit. This is going to really give away where I'm at with my videos. So this actually took place on October 10th when I stopped to get the silver to put up against Husky, Silver Husky, in our very first box battle. I don't remember how long ago that was, but I know it was a while ago. As a matter of fact, I think it was probably the same day, now that I think about it, because I picked it up that Saturday and we were battling that night. So it was Saturday, October 10th, when I was picking up the silver. I went back to the coin shop, not because I like to go there, but because it was the closest to me and I did not have a lot of time. And I also had Mini Mad in the car with me complaining about having to drive all the way over to katiecoin.com. So I figured I'd stick my head in Texas Bullion Exchange, which, if you follow my story from the beginning, this is the guy when I was brand new that I walked in and he had no silver other than like 5 ASCs that he was charging way too much for. And on the way out, he asked me, hey, do you want any junk silver? And remember, I didn't know what junk silver was then. So in my mind, I was thinking like scrap metal. And I was like, no, man, I just bought my first bullion bar a couple days before. So, I'm a stacker now. I'm not buying scrap metal. So I left the store and never went back. Now, when I did go back this day, I told him that story, and he got a kick out of it. And I let him know that I told the story on my YouTube channel. I left some stickers there for him. So, pretty cool. But while I was there picking up the stuff for that reason, I did find something cool. But before we get into that, it's very important that I add these to my stack. So you guys remember, I just had an epic box, right? Total of 17 silver in one box. Well, I just blew that out of the way. And I had this box that had 22 silvers in it. And yes, ladies and gentlemen, I got another walker. So let's check this out. And I will throw in the mintages and all that good stuff for you. This is a 1935. It's a little bit funky. Got a little dirtiness to it. I've seen worse, but I've definitely seen better. This is a no mint mark. So this is a 1935 walker. I also found 3 more 1964 Kennedys. Then I found 4 1965 Kennedys. Then 7 1967 Kennedys. Five 1968 Kennedys. And 2 1969s. In the 69s are also both these. Alright, so back to the reason for today's video. This is a pickup from October 10th. Spot that day was $25.15. And I picked up this really awesome. And there you can see the price, $32. This guy didn't do receipts, so I decided I'd leave that on there. Until I made the video, at least, which is now, so it's going to come off. Alright. Check that out. Houston strong. Now, you guys know I live in Tomball, Texas, but it's a suburb of Houston. And I grew up about an hour south of Houston, so Houston is my city. Now, as you guys know, in 2017, we had a bit of an issue. We had a big issue. And that was Hurricane Harvey. So this was part of the Hurricane Harvey Relief Fund. Let me take it out of here so it'll focus better. This was part of the Hurricane Harvey Relief Fund. It does have a little ding kind of down here. Looks like it possibly might have been dropped. I don't 100% know what happened there. And I didn't see that when I bought it, but it's all good. No harm, no foul. It's up to me to inspect the coins before I buy them. It does have a reeded edge. Let's get focused there, buddy. There we go. Sorry about that. It's got a reeded edge. As you guys can see, it's got the radial lines, and it says Hurricane Harvey Relief Fund. It looks like it's been wiped quite a bit. You see those micro scratches there? That's one thing this camera's good for, finding those micro scratches. So this is 1 troy ounce, 3/9 fine silver. And it says Stand United. And on the other side, it's got the mirror finish with some fingerprints that aren't mine. So I will need to wipe that off for sure. But it says Houston Strong. And it's got a little heart there where Houston would be. Now, for those of you that don't know a lot about Hurricane Harvey, I think the final number was around 155,000. Now, here's what I can tell you, because this is the industry that I'm in. That 155,000 number that they're saying flooded in Harvey in the greater Houston area. Now, it was way more than that Texas-wide, right? Beaumont, Port Arthur, small towns. The small town I grew up in, which was down in Wharton, Texas, that town got just completely clobbered. So I say that to say this: that number, that official number, is based on insurance claims. And what I can tell you is a lot of people, oh, there's some milk going on there, not just a fingerprint but some milk. A lot of people didn't file insurance claims. Insurance isn't a thing that you have in the hood, right? So there's a lot of neighborhoods that went under represented in a lot of those statewide numbers and things like that. So what I can tell you is that we believe it was around 280,000 houses in the greater Houston area that flooded. And we also believe there's going to be another, 250,000, up to 500,000 houses afterwards that will end up in foreclosure just because they got into a forbearance period during that time. They took some damage, whatever the reason, they got behind their mortgage and didn't pay it. Now, you're thinking this was over 2 years ago. Why are you thinking that it can happen? Like, why are you thinking there's going to be something that's going to happen from it now? And here's what I can tell you. Yes, this was years ago, but right about the time the foreclosures would have started hitting, right about the time the banks would have given as much grace as they could, 6, 12, 18 months, COVID-19 happened and foreclosures were stopped. We haven't had a foreclosure auction in Houston since March. So for the last 8 months, people that haven't been paying their mortgage have not been able to be foreclosed on and evicted from the house, because evictions aren't happening either. So a lot of the damage financially that would have resulted in a lot of these houses ending up in foreclosure from Harvey was kind of, in a sense, bailed out by COVID. So there's no really happy ending to that story, whether Harvey or the pandemic happened either way. But unfortunately, that's kind of the world we live in. So I do still expect a large influx of foreclosures in this city once this pandemic stuff is cleared up and things can get processed and the courts get back open and that sort of thing. So just know that we are still feeling the effects from Hurricane Harvey in Houston. As a matter of fact, there's a neighborhood on the west side of town that I know very well that I would say 30% of the houses still haven't even started being rehabbed. And this isn't a socially economic distraught area. These are, $600,000, $800,000 houses. But the cost it takes to repair a 6,000 square foot house, you're talking $65, $70 a square foot, based on the hit that neighborhood took in the market after Harvey. You can't give that house to somebody, them spend the money to fix it up, sell it for a profit. So those houses are just stuck in limbo. And these are huge, amazing houses in an amazing neighborhood. But they were underwater for days. So there's a lot of people that had to just leave the keys and walk away. They call that jingle mail. People just put their keys in an envelope and mail it back into the bank. So it was a tough time here in Houston, but we came together. Houston Strong became our motto, and we stuck it out. And we got the community through it. While there is still some lingering suffering and things going on from it, as a whole, we pulled through the worst amount of rainfall this nation has ever seen, and we pulled through it with flying colors. So anybody that's from this area that had any experience with that, would love to hear part of your story in the comments below. If you are from not around here but followed it on national news and maybe even gave to the cause online or something like that, thank you guys for that, and would love to hear your comments about it below. But as always, I appreciate each and every one of you. Thanks for coming to listen to a small part of my story. And I was able to find this piece and give you a little bit of my history. So thank you guys so much. And very much like we are Houston strong, we are YouTube coin community strong. So I implore you to get involved. You don't have to start making content if that's not what you're into, but definitely start hanging out in the rooms. Definitely get to know the people that are, because it is a group like no other. And you will not be disappointed, and you do not have to worry about fitting in, because we are all mad here.